Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a fall makeup look. I'm so excited. We're actually doing our family pictures today, and I know I'm sitting in my bathroom, which is really weird. Usually I'm standing. I just could not be bothered to set up my normal setup today. So here we are. I'm going to go for a nice, easy, like nothing too crazy eye, and then probably like a dark berry / dark mauve lip. And we're gonna do a tutorial because I haven't done one in a while, and you know me with my fall looks, I love them so much. So I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as possible because camera battery's dying, mirror light is dying, everything's freaking dying. Welcome to today's video, and I hope you enjoy. Before I do anything, I'm going to prep my face with a Tula blurring and moisturizing primer. If you've been around for quite some time, you already know this is my jam. I love this primer. It's so hydrating, so smooth on the skin, but also gives like that nice blurring effect. So we're going to go ahead and let that sit while I work on doing my brows, which honestly, I just got them tinted not too long ago, so they don't really need too much, although I do like to give them just a little bit of shape with the Anastasia brow definer. I think that's what this is. Yeah, brow definer triangular brow pencil, and this is in the color soft brown. Really don't do too much to it, but it just like gives it that teeny tiny bit of structure where like I'm lacking kind of right here in the middle section. You can see like when I brush them up, there's just some sparsity there, so I just fill them in just a little bit. And that's really all I do to them. I don't do a ton. These brows have come a long way, okay? Then I'm gonna take the Anastasia Brow Freeze. And let me tell you something. This, like, you just need a little teeny tiny bit for this. Number one, it is so thick and it really sits in the brows. Like, look at that. Really shows where I'm missing hair in my eyebrows, which I don't love, but I like to fix it. See, there we go. If you do too much, you're gonna end up with like clumps of clear gel in your brow. A cheap hack alternative to this is using Got To Be glue. Learned that on the talk, but I do really like this freezing gel. I kind of go back between this one and the Pat McGrath one, but they're both amazing. I'm not gonna do anything too crazy on my lids. Prepping my eyes with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance 24-Hour Creaseless Primer. If you use concealer, you just wanna be careful that you don't have too oily of eyelids because concealer is already somewhat hydrating, and you actually kind of want this to dry out your lids if you have oily eyelids. As I'm gonna do kind of like a darker lip for this look, I'm just gonna use MAC Soft Brown, and I'm going to put this all in the crease and just kind of like buff it out nicely. Just cause like I'm also gonna add big lashes, and I really feel like when you're doing pictures kind of from far away, like if these were close-up pictures, I'd be more inclined to do like a really, I don't know, like shimmery on the inner corner, cut crease kind of thing. But really with these like family style pictures, are usually far away and you can't really see like your true eye makeup look anyway. So I don't really do too much, and I just feel like putting a little bit of brown, you can even use bronzer for this, in your crease and buffing it out just kind of brings some dimension to your face without making your lids like look too dark, but you also don't want them to be too flat. You know what I'm saying? I just do a little bit, nothing crazy. And if I feel like at the end I need some brightness, I'll just take some highlighter and put it on my inner corner. But it's really, sometimes it's just ain't necessary to do all that, okay? But to be honest with you, I kind of like doing no shadow looks because they require significantly less work. Although I will tell you that doing this liner, this is work, and I need to make sure I'm focused. Screwed up, I always screw this liner up, so I gotta be careful. Yes, you know when you just do the first line and you know it's good? I love when that happens. All right, don't jinx it, Manders. Sweet. I think that wearing Lashify has like curled my natural lashes. Does anybody else feel that way if you use Lashify? These are fancy holiday style lashes, I think. These are velour mink lashes. Doesn't tell me the type, but we are going to cut this strip because, oh my goodness, there's something else. Whew. All right, let's get the scissors and we're gonna cut the edges. All right, I'm not gonna put any mascara on my lashes yet because, oh boy, these are gonna be too long. Oh boy. Something about this like curly lash situation that I have going on is making it really difficult to put fake lashes on recently. Sometimes you just kind of need to trim the edges off, you know? Remember, these are for pictures, so it's okay if it looks a little crazy. I feel like that's one thing too, is like when you put false lashes on without actually having any of your other makeup on, it can always, it's like, oh boy, you know, and you think you're doing too much. Trust the process, okay? You know, I'm really the queen of saying that, and then I it all up. So I cut off about that much off of the ends, and then with the velour lashes, these are velour, the tails of them, for some reason, they always have like the band sticking out. I don't know why. These little lash clippers are also from Lily Lashes, by the way, which I really like their lashes, probably the most out of any, but I've gotten to a place where I can actually put these on without the little helper. So I just kind of use it to place and then use my fingers to set it. It's good enough for me. Those bad boys aren't going anywhere. Okay, let's move on to the face. My skin is actually not looking that good today. It's like kind of congested. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I can like see some texture on my forehead and like around my chin. I don't know if that's because I am in my ovulation phase, but either way, learned this trick from Michaela. And every time I put this on my face, I always hear her voice and her Boston accent. And she's like, the Naz Radiant Pot Concealer. So I'm gonna take that in the shade Custard, and I'm just going to apply it and not blend it in to where I have some spots. This is like a dark sunspot thing I'm working on getting removed. It looks better though. And then like some freckles, and just leave it like that. You don't wanna mess with it. Just gonna leave it as is. I'm gonna go with my tried and true today. The Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk in 5.5 is honestly probably one of the best foundations I've ever used. And I don't know if it's just because like your skin kind of changes with age, but I tried to do my Anastasia Luminous foundation like a couple of days ago, and it just like didn't sit right on my skin the way that it did before. And I wore that foundation for my wedding. So like that was a very serious relationship I had with that foundation. And I put it on, I was just like not in love with it for some reason. And so we're going back to the Giorgio Armani. I know it looks a little bit yellow when you first apply it, but this oxidizes so nicely on me. And it just is so, like the finish on this foundation is so nice. Recently I've been doing my contour slash bronzer first before concealer. I don't know when I started doing that, but I feel like using the concealer to kind of shape up your contour has been helping lately. Just keep it a little bit more sharp and where you want the contour to be. I am using the Anastasia cream bronzer. This has been my absolute go-to lately. I love this cream bronzer so much. And I also really like the Nudie Sticks one. That was like my ride or die for the last couple of years. But I just think that this one has a little bit more dew to it, like a little bit more of a glowy finish, I guess, and the other one is just a tad bit more matte. I'm gonna bake today too because we're gonna be extra, because these are professional pictures. You want it to look good and sharp. To conceal, I'm going to use the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This concealer is bomb. It is full coverage, so creamy. I wish I had like a little puff to set it with, because I feel like this looks better when you have the actual puff to set with instead of like just using your beauty sponge. Taking that original beauty blender, and I am lightly patting this into my under eye area. And then I'm also gonna take it up towards the bottom part of my contour. I know it's kind of blown out because the light, it's very, very bright out today. If I had a pink powder, I would also apply that like directly underneath my under eyes, but I don't. I have one in my cart for the Sephora sale, which I am so excited about. That is this week when I'm filming this video. And I will be purchasing some new products to try for Vlogmas videos, makeup hauls, what have you. We're gonna use our Laura Mercier setting powder and just a little bit on the corner of the sponge and just tap it in, look up all the way to kind of get in those creases. Use a brush for this too if you want. My skin is so dry that I have to be careful with using brushes. It really can like look so muddy on me between like bronzers, blushes. So I am just usually someone that always uses cream products for pretty much everything. For my cream blush, I'm gonna go with a little bit of a mauve-y color. This always pulls so brown on camera, but it's not, I swear. It's called Pink Sky, the Breezy Tarte blush, cream blushes. I love these so much. And I just like to apply these with a stippling brush because I feel like it really gets the best application. Sometimes the Beauty Blender can kind of drag my foundation into it and make it look a little sludgy. I'm also gonna go back underneath my under eyes and add a little bit of brown shadow to give myself somewhat of an eyeliner underneath there, because I think without it just looks a little bare. Also, I recommend doing some type of setting spray. This is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist in between each like layer that you're working with, but like before I start adding powder to my face, because it really helps lock everything in. And then I use my original Beauty Blender that I put my foundation on with and just kind of go over where there's would be like some harsh lines, like my blush line and all of that. We're gonna make this really drama, and I'm gonna follow the natural line of my contour just like that to the end of my lips. We're going to let that sit for a minute, and then we're gonna go back with the MAC Soft Brown, and I'm going to take this like denser eyeliner style brush, and I'm going to pack that into my bottom line. I'm gonna take the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. This is my all-time favorite bottom lash mascara, and I also learned this other trick on TikTok that I'm going to show you. Put a generous layer on, and then you're going to take a stippling, this is not stippling, this is a spoolie, kind of fluff them out to get it evenly coated on your bottom lashes. Like, look at the difference in that. That looks so great. I love how I just like don't have thumbnails on. They broke off today during my workout, and we are just gonna leave it. I always feel like I want to branch out and try a new lip liner, and I just don't, I can't bring myself to do it. We're going with MAC Whirl. It's just honestly the best base in my opinion. This could be a horrible mistake because this is a lip stain. If I don't like this, I'm basically screwed. But this is the Anastasia lip stain in the color Dirty Rose, and it smells so nice. I've never used this before. Why I'm trying this today, I don't know. Oh God. A little drying. Surprisingly, I actually really like that. Didn't think I was going to, but I do also have this Rare Beauty Courage, I think this is matte liquid lip. Her formula is so nice, and when it melts, like usually when you wear like matte liquid lips at the end of like your time of wearing them, like after a couple hours, they start to crack in your lips and they look so bad. But for some reason, this brand doesn't do that, and it's just like, it kind of just like fades naturally. It's so nice. So what I'm thinking is to give it some more hydration, because lip stains are very drying. I think I'm just gonna, oh yeah, put a little bit in the middle. Like even just this feeling on my lips is so much more hydrating than the stain, which like I knew it would be, but wow, who would have thought? Okay, what I'm going to do before I wipe my bake off is take some Marc Jacobs bronzer and a little bit more of a compact brush. This is like an old Kat Von D. Go over where I did my cream contour just to kind of like darken it up a little bit and give it a little bit more depth, especially in pictures, because I don't want to look washed out. Then, Miss Jaclyn Hill, you are saving me with your highlighter. We're going to do a double highlight day, and I'm going to use her highlighter in the shade Lightning. And we're going to put just a little bit here. And I'm going to use my fingers for this application, and then we'll use the Beauty Blender to kind of buff it all in at the end. All right, so then I'm just taking this Beauty Blender, we're going to buff that in. I will go over with a dry highlighter in Cookie when I'm done. I'm going to take a dense brush, this is just some random Cover FX one I have, to kind of buff out this bakage that we got going on, and I make sure that I also blend it into my contour so there's not like a super harsh line, because you don't want to look crazy, but you do still want to have that definition. And sometimes I've done this where I end up looking back at it and I'm like, ooh, I needed to buff out my bake a little bit more. And we're going to top off that highlight with the Cookie highlighter and a fan brush, just right over where you put that liquid highlighter. All right, then I'm going to layer it with the Benefit Professional Super Setter. is the finished look for this. Super simple. I need a hairbrush. I'm gonna do my makeup with my curls like pre-brushed so that they stay. And then I take just a regular wet brush slash detangler and lightly run my fingers through them so it looks more relaxed. That, my friends, is all there is to it. So I hope you enjoyed this little holiday slash fall makeup look. If you did, you already know, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. We are kind of close to 100,000 subscribers, and I'm hoping that with Vlogmas, we will get there. So that's a wrap for this video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next one.